Hi,
Hello.
how
Hi.
are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very bright. I feel very bright today.
Yes, I am feeling the pink though. I love it. It's a good
Thank
vibe.
you. It
It's a
makes
great
me look
vibe.
really tan.
It
So,
does, but it's a good thing. And the eyeshadow like goes with it. It's a whole look. I'm into
yeah.
it.
So, thank you so much for being in a part of my next episode for Beyond the Face.
Of course.
For
Happy
the
to be
people
here.
that, yes, for the people that don't know, Beyond the Face is a series that I started a little bit ago where I speak to influential women in all different categories of career, of age, of ethnicity that I just feel I've related to or I find inspiring. And this week we have Kimber, and I've known Kimber for many, many years. Her
Yeah.
current position is content and production at Boohoo, but I knew her from like, I think I was thinking about it the other day. I've known you for like 6 years now.
Yeah, I've been with Boohoo for almost 4. So obviously at least that. And then we obviously connected at Style Hall, which I think we even, when we were friends there, working together there, that was at least a couple years. So yeah, 6 years is probably right.
I know, that's crazy. So, for those that don't know, what exactly is content production?
So obviously the Boohoo brand, for anyone who doesn't know, is based in the UK. So we have our US marketing team out here, and it's a really small team, but we all kind of do a lot of different roles. And so my role is really unique, and the title obviously is a little ambiguous as well. But I manage and work on all of our US creative campaigns. So anything from like a social perspective or from any of like our spring or our summer campaigns that we shoot in the US, I manage and produce all of those. And I work very closely with the creative team and the social team that's all based in the UK. They come out here a lot. I was going over there a lot prior to COVID. So it's a really unique role where I just have my hands in a lot of different pots and get to work across so many different projects, which I'm very, very grateful for. I've learned so much and experience wise, I've just grown. Even when you knew me back at Style Holidays and how where I've come today, it's just crazy how fast time really just makes things or puts things into perspective of how much there's so much more to learn. So yeah, I'm very lucky and it's very cool. We are shooting probably anywhere between 2 to 3 times a month from a campaign level, and then sometimes we'll be doing these smaller like social shoots that are just like quick little wins where we work with a small influencer, or it's like an event if we're producing some sort of event, then I'll be on the grounds there shooting that type of stuff for content as well. So it's all over the
I
place.
love how you say shooting with a small influencer when it's like 500,000 plus followers the influencer has.
I mean, we do smaller stuff too, like we'll do micro shoots where we're just taking a girl on the street and just shooting her street style and using that type of stuff for just like social posts on Instagram or for email content. So content is obviously not just in the social space. It goes further out.
Yeah,
We have obviously stuff on the web page that's influencer content, obviously email content that we'll send out. We have affiliate programs and just so many other touch points where content lives. I think people get in the
right.
hole that content is only on social or Instagram or TikTok, when in reality, from a marketing standpoint, we're touching so many other ways to talk to the consumer. So there's just
Right.
so many other places for content to live, which is exciting.
Now, with that being said, Boohoo, at least the US team, is very female powered. Every time I go into the office, it's an entire female staff, which I love because it makes everybody feel so comfortable. And with that, I'm sure since you said it's also a smaller US team, you wear a lot of hats.
Mm-hmm.
So going from Style Hall, which if people don't know, Style Hall was I don't even know how to explain. I feel like Style Hall did so much.
Yeah, I mean, I think Style Hall, what it was known as and kind of like what it
Mhm.
started as was called an MCN, a multi-channel network. And it was
Mhm.
really more focused on YouTube back in the day when it was like YouTube had just started, beauty halls and like style, physical, obviously fit, fashion style halls were just starting. And it was about partnering influencers or creators, is what we would call them, with brands and creating campaigns. So the experience that I had there was really fun because I worked across so many different brands. We repped like, eat like tech brands like Samsung or like Universal, and then I would go onto this fashion and beauty space as well. So I just got so much experience just like creating fun campaigns for different brands.
Yeah.
And then obviously we worked on the brand marketing side of Style Hall, which made Style Hall in itself known. So it was, making content or producing shoots that was focused on getting the name of Style Hall out to creators and other influencers to get more people to join.
So do you feel like, because I met you on a production shoot for
Mm-hmm.
Stylehawk,
Yeah.
which we weren't working with one specific brand, we were just shooting for several different brands. So do
Right.
you feel like that experience helped you be able to do the shoots that you do to the level that you do them now at Boohoo?
Oh, 100%. I don't think I would have ever been able to be comfortable in the role that I'm in today if I didn't have that experience with me. And granted, when I was doing those shoots, like that was like my first time producing. It was like completely me just learning as I went. Like I taught myself everything in that space. I was just like, okay, this makes sense. This makes sense. We're gonna do this. And thankfully, I had a lot of great colleagues at Style Hall. Our art director, who's still one of my great friends, she was just helping me more on the creative and vision side. So it was just so fun being able to have that kind of responsibility given to us at such a small, team. And then now I do it on such a bigger scale. Now it's just so crazy. It's like things come full circle completely. And, when I started at Boohoo and I was asked to start producing, I was like, oh yeah, I could do that. And then it just turned into something that was like out of this.
Yeah.
Like we've just done so many cool campaigns. I'm sure some people know.
So many cool. You've done Paris Hilton, you've done Sophia Richie, Megan Fox, which I know like you were so stoked about and so
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
So there's like
Megan,
so many different influencers, creators.
it's really cool. And like like I said, the experience that I've gained, I'm so grateful for, and these opportunities. Like as a brand, we're always growing, so it's just so cool to see that as I grow with the brand too. Where I started with the brand and where we are now, and all the partnerships that we're still working with or working on. It's crazy. So it's really fun. But yeah, I mean, on like Style Hall days were like the best days, and like a lot of us are all still friends. We all still talk and keep in touch and just talk about all the experiences that we had at Style Hall, because it was really just a stepping stone, I think, in all of our careers go forward. So it's very cool.
Yeah, for sure. Now, what made you want to choose this industry? Like, what made you start at, I don't know if you were at somewhere before Style Hall that was in the same element or something like that, but what made you want to go in this path, or did you accidentally fall into it and?
I think it was a little bit of both. I went to art school for fashion marketing specifically. And I think before that, I took a couple years off between high school and college to really, first of all, I think it's kind of silly for people to like be expected to know what you want to do immediately out of high school. You have so much pressure. You have no idea where you want to go yet. You're still a child, learning and figuring out things. So for me, I was like, I don't want to put myself, in a university and go somewhere for like a degree that I won't, use or care about. So I think I just took a couple years to really figure out me and figure out what I wanted to do. I dabbled in maybe being in makeup or being in hair or in that world. And that's when I kind of realized, okay, I clearly want to be in a creative space. I want to be in a world where I'm creating, whether it's something physically or tangible or something. And then I think I just always had a very, interest in fashion. When I was a kid, like when I was a teenager, I would go thrifting all the time and do vintage shopping and just like, just make crazy outfits that I would never wear now. But like, I was just so adventurous when it came to fashion then. And I think that I knew I wanted to go in that space. And then obviously when I went to school, I put myself through school and was working full time while I was going through school. So I never really was, like interning or did that route, but I was working for a fashion startup while I was in school. So my hours were crazy. I was like, working during the day, school at night, or really early classes, and then work during the day. And so I was always kind of in the fashion space. And then Style Hall was really my first experience, more in like that marketing world. And then, the timing was right for me when I left and from Boohoo, and Boohoo just gave me all these really great opportunities and really just gave me the moment for me to shine, in the sense that I could take everything that I learned in school and all my other jobs leading up to this and really just accelerate myself and see myself grow to like a place I never thought. So I'm very lucky that, people that I went to school for something and I'm literally using what I learned and doing that today. So
Yeah.
it really is like a full circle. Like I literally couldn't be doing anything but fashion marketing, and that's what my degree is in. So it's funny how it works out.
Have you ever had a time where you second guessed yourself if you were in the right space or if you were good enough? Because I feel like as women, like you're very entrepreneur, I'm very entrepreneur. I've worked since I was very young as well. But a lot of people are like, you look so confident. You always look like you have it so put together. And I'm like, Girl, I'm trying to get by every day.
Literally, it's so funny when I talk to my friends about this too, because they'll be like, "You are living the dream, like you're doing so many cool things," and I'm like, it's so funny, like social media, like how you think that's what my life is, and like obviously I'm not going to be putting a ton of like the bad times on my social, but like I'm going to highlight all the things I'm proud of doing. But absolutely second guess myself, absolutely go through, moments where I'm super insecure and wondering if I'm good at what I do or if I'm worthy of this, or I struggle. And I think, you and I have talked about this, I think, a couple of times too, where we're both just like in ruts sometimes, feeling not motivated, feeling uninspired, in a creative, hole, if you will, of just like, what is my next move? What am I doing? How do I pick myself back up again? How do I be better? But yeah, it's definitely a roller coaster in the sense of there are days where they're like, or, months even where I'll go where I'm like, I'm killing it. I'm doing such a good job. This is such a rewarding place. Like, oh my God, like this project is so cool. This project is so cool. I can't believe I did this. And then out of nowhere, obviously there'll be moments where it just hits and I'm just like, like, I don't even know
Yeah.
what I'm doing. It's like, is this good? Is this bad? Am I like,
Right.
I don't even know. So it's a roller coaster for sure.
I was reading the other day an article that said that like our generation has become so accustomed to the next thing and always making sure that we're so stimulated, whether it's by the TV or by our work or by our accolades and our that's like our validation, that when we go through waves of really intense months where we're super stressed and maybe we're crying because we're so stressed, we have so much work. When those months slows down, we start crying because we're like, I don't have
Uh-huh.
anything to do. Like, what's going on? Like, what is my life again?
Exactly. It's like we're so addicted to the hustle and so like, acclimated to that. The second that it slows down, you're almost like, what do I do with my hands? Like, what the hell is
Yeah.
happening? Kind of a thing. I actually read something similar the other day about like girl boss mentality and like the hustle culture. Like, it needs to kind of scale back a little bit because of this exact reason. We're so, constantly moving, constantly going that sometimes we forget what it's like maybe just to have a moment, just to like sit and reflect. And I've had other people talk to me about this too, that like you're always moving, you're always going. Like, do you ever just sit back and be proud of what you've done because you're always going on to the next project? So I feel like that's something that I'm trying to tell myself more. It's kind of like a resolution, I guess, that I gave myself this year, just to take a moment a little bit more and be a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more appreciative and thankful for the things that I've done, and like tell myself, you did a good job. Like, congratulate myself, be proud of myself without going
Yeah.
immediately to the next program.
I have something in my guest bedroom, and every time people see it, they're like kind of creeped out by it, but kind of understand it. And I have two sliding doors of the closet in that room, and it's where I like film or what where I have like an office. But on the actual mirrors, I have like sectioned off different things. I have invoices that are coming in, and I write it down to make sure that that contract is not canceled. But I also have accomplishments of the year, and then I put like the year that we're in. And every time I land a campaign, whether it's print, whether it's commercial, whether it's brand partnership, I write it on there so that if I'm ever feeling like stuck while I'm filming or something, it's in my eyesight where I can just look and I'm like, I'm doing good. I'm doing
I
okay.
love that. I
Because
need
I
to be
forget
better about
about it.
affirmations and stuff like that. I'm really
Yeah.
just not that kind of person, unfortunately. Like, been trying to get into journaling and manifesting and all this stuff, and it's something that like I will be really good about for like a week or a month or whatever, and then like I'll just forget about it. But I
Mm-hmm.
love that. I think it's just such a great reminder to tell yourself that whether you're up or you're down, like you have accomplished this, and you need to like remind yourself of it. I love that so much. It's beautiful.
Yeah, we definitely forget about it. And I can relate to the journaling because I'm an avid journaler. That's not a word, but journal
Journaling.
person. But I do go through my phases as well where I'm like, I haven't picked up my journal the whole month. And I'm like, well, I definitely feel so scattered brain or like I have so much in my mind. So maybe I should write it out. But it does sometimes life just honestly, sometimes I'm just too lazy to write.
Literally, I feel that. I'm just
Yeah,
like, there are
I'm sometimes
moments.
I'm too lazy to write, but I notice that if I type it, it doesn't get out of my head. So
Yeah,
it's like I need to physically write it so it can get out of my head. But sometimes if you feel so down, you don't even have the energy to do that.
yeah.
So I get that as well. But okay, so question. Now, you've done all these things, you've worked with all the celebrities, creators, like all the stuff. What is probably one goal you haven't achieved yet that you're like, if I get that, I'd be like, whether it's like a career, whether it's a personal one, whether it's a client?
Yeah. I think for career wise, a goal that I would love that I've been trying to, work on and move towards, just because given like the climate of the world and given where we're at with like, change and diversity and everything, I've been really wanting to work on a collection and, a campaign or whatever that's gender neutral and that encompass just has, where people aren't defined by women's clothing or men's clothing and they're able to put something on and feel really comfortable by it. I think brands are starting to get to a place where things are a lot more, androgynous and you can kind of wear whatever. And like, obviously we have male influencers wearing dresses and, suiting or whatever it is, but I want that to be represented more in the community. And so I think it would just be so cool to have like a gender neutral campaign where it features a bunch of different type of, non-binary creators and influencers wearing whatever they want and being empowered by that. And so that's definitely been a goal of mine, something that I've been wanting to work on and I've been putting forward. So we'll see if it comes out. But I think that would be, I'm just very much like, yeah, creators are great and it's like so awesome to work with celebrities, but I think that there's something to be said to use that platform for better as well and, spread a message or bring about a new topic that's maybe, we can talk about it or whatever. But I'm just really hoping that we can get to a point where we do something really cool like that because
I remember that actually, like, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago, you guys released a collection that was like, I still have the sleeping shirt. Oh, I use the shirt as a sleeping shirt, but it was like love is love, and then it was like
our Pride collection.
I loved that collection. It was
our
like
Pride collections typically are gender neutral, and we definitely make it lives on the men's and the women's side, but. So that's every year we definitely try and push those. And honestly, I love the Pride collection. I wear my Love is Love all the time too. I literally have like 4 different sleeping shirts as well and like oversized sweatshirts, especially like during quarantine time. It's like all I lived in. But so I just like that message is great. It just would be great if it lived obviously past just Pride Month and was
amplified way bigger.
Exactly. So that would be something really great. I think from another career point of view, I've wanted to actually get into design at some point in my life and like see if I can. I mean, I used to sew like literally when I was in high school and a teenager, and it's something that like if you give me a machine right now, I wouldn't even know what to do with it. I could barely maybe thread it, but it's been something that I've been wanting to get back into, just even from a small point of view, just like making things for me. There's been so many times where I see stuff on, Insta or see stuff, I'm just like getting inspo from whatever sites I'm pulling stuff from. And I'm like, I wish I could just make this. Like if there's something in my head where I'm like, oh, I want to wear this thing to this event, but I need it to look this way. I wish I could it's all in my brain. I just haven't like physically done it yet. So that would be something that'd be like a personal goal of mine, just to like, to give myself that, skill or whatever. Like literally in my dream in life when I was like in high school was to be on Project Runway, and I like still watch it like regularly. I'm obsessed with it.
Maybe Project Runway one day should do an episode where it's like all like social buzzworthy brands, where it's like the Boohoos and all like the others, and like the creative team competes with each other.
That would be so fun. And
I think I just gave like an amazing idea.
Literally, I would fangirl and probably pass out, but I would absolutely be so excited if something like that happened. I mean, I think if the new season, especially, like they're definitely like changing the challenges up and doing a lot more like real like modern things. So I think that could be something on the horizon. Who knows? But
now, when you work on these shoots, like, what is there anything that you're like, okay, if I really got to get it together, I can snap out of it at least for 8 hours to get it? Or is it just like a mental thing where you're just like, I'm turning this off right now and I'll deal with it later? Because you do have to somehow take out the creativeness of you if you have a campaign shoot to do, or if you have to wake up at 5 a.m. but you're feeling like crap, to still kind of like have that mindset. How does that work for you?
I think something that I don't know if it's something that you can say I'm proud of necessarily, because sometimes it's a good thing or not. I definitely have the type of mentality that like I love my job. I take my job very seriously. And I have a job to do at the end of the day. There's something that somebody's relying on me to do. So I'm the kind of person that like leaves all the mental, all whatever I'm going through out the door when I leave and goes and does my job, you know, and does it well and does it however the best to my possible ability, I'll do it. Obviously it will always be there. And then I figured things out. Therapy is the best thing in the entire world. But like, I'll take care of it whenever I take care of it. But I definitely try to never bring that type of feeling or emotion to set or to work or to the office or whatever it is, just because there's just so much that relies on you at the end of the day. You can't let people down and don't let yourself down. Like you're already in that place. So it's like, don't make it worse by, bringing that to wherever you have to do your job at. I just feel like it's very important to.
What's your favorite thing to do to treat yourself?
Oh, let's see. I mean, I definitely love a good like self-care day of like masks and baths and a glass of wine and like literally doing nothing and just laying on my couch with my dog and like binge watching anything and just like turning my phone on do not disturb and like shutting off the world. But from like a true how do I fix myself type of way, I think therapy is really just the best thing that's changed my life, at least for me. So I always try. I have a great relationship with my therapist. So if there's ever any moment where I'm like, I need a session, I'll just text her and be like, I need to come in this weekend. Can I please come? So she is really great. We work really well together, and she just has really opened up my mind to a lot more things lately about mindfulness and just being a lot more aware of myself and my decisions. So it's been great to have someone to talk to. I think that that's really important.
I think also, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think also for women that are in such fast-paced jobs and that, like you said, do have to deliver at the end of the day, but are also extremely creative people, we tend to be very emotional.
Yeah.
But in that same essence, because we are very work influenced or focused, we also can be mean to ourselves at times when
Oh
those
my God,
emotions
yeah.
come. So like what I try to focus on is try to be kinder to myself, because I'm like, I would not call and tell Kimber this stuff as advice. So why the hell am I talking to myself this way? And it's not even like sometimes out loud. It's like the little voice in your head that I'm like, why am I being so mean to myself? Why am I
Yeah.
giving myself like some grace, some benefit of the doubt, like it's okay, girl, you can chill. Just because you're laying down doesn't mean you're a lazy slob.
Right,
Like,
exactly. I think that's been a challenge for sure. I mean, it's part of what we were talking about earlier, like the affirmations of telling myself, being more kind and positive to myself, because I definitely get in those ruts too, where, if something didn't go right, I'll blame it on myself immediately and figure out what I did, that led to this not working out or whatever. So I'm trying to be better about that as well. It's definitely hard. And I don't know, like, where does that even come from? Like, I really wish I could pinpoint for everybody, like how and why do we ever learn to be so hard on ourselves sometimes?
right.
And maybe it does lend itself just to being in that constant work environment and hustling and grinding and always being on that, like, we are always just going to be so critical of everything that we do sometimes. But it's definitely not a positive feature, and it's hard, and I think what you said earlier, just about being women in the space too, and women of color, I think that we also feel like we have a lot of responsibility on our shoulders. And it's been, obviously, with the challenges that the world has faced in the last couple of years, I've also found it for myself. I feel like even more so than ever, there's like this stigma or this like eye on me all the time, that like, because I am a woman, because I'm of color, I have to live up to all of these crazy things, and if I fail, it's like gonna be the end of the world. So I think a lot of
It's like
factors
if you fail, people are waiting for you so they could say, told you so. And if
yeah,
you don't fail, they're like, how far can I push her for her to
exactly.
break? So it's like it's a catch 22. But
It really is.
I think I did read the same article that you were talking about, that it was saying that the girl boss era is actually that should be canceled, because that's not the right way to think, because it burns you out and it
Right,
makes you
right.
think that you have to be on full time, that you have to work until you burn out. And that if you start actually looking at the generation, like our parents and stuff, they actually have more of a balance of take vacations, take time
Right,
off. Even like people that are international, like, yeah, I grew up in Venezuela and I was born there, but my aunts and cousins that are actually from there and had like teenage years there, they will go on vacation to the US or to different parts of the world for like 2 months. And I'm like, 2 months? What?
Yeah.
What do you mean? That would give me anxiety even being on
Literally
vacation
gives me
for
anxiety
1
just
week.
thinking of
Yeah, I'm like, how do you guys survive off 2 months of vacation? How do you guys save that much money when you guys don't even make that much money? And how are you not
literally.
stressed to what you go back to? But it's the way we were programmed, which isn't the healthiest.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
so
definitely, yeah. I mean, I feel that even when I take like 2 days off and I'm like, I'm gonna go on a little trip or something with my friends, and then like I'm like, should I check in my email right now? Do I need to text the group chat back? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? Like I'm like, I like second guess everything, and I'm like, am I in trouble? Like, is someone gonna like say something to me because I'm taking a day off? Like, it's just. But I will say my another resolution that I gave myself this year was to take all my vacation days for the year, because I haven't done like a full like that type of trip before, and obviously I'm not gonna take a 2 month vacation, but like like a week off of work where I literally just go somewhere where it's all about me, relax. Like I want to travel more now that things are obviously opening back up again, and like really just experience more of life, I guess, without having the pressure of constantly feeling like I'm not doing enough. So that's definitely what I'm hoping I'm going to be doing this year, is at least one good vacation.
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna ask you something, and it's gonna be in and out. It doesn't have to be on too long. But how does a woman like you find a partner? Because you're always working, you're always on to the next thing. You clearly make your own money, honey. So it's like, how do you find a partner?
You don't. You know, it's just as easy as that. Yeah, I think like because I work so much, I'm really career driven and career oriented. There's obviously days where I'm lonely, and that would be great to have in my life, but I'm also super proud of myself at the end of the day for, yeah, this is my money. Like I take care of myself, and that is something that I am proud of to some degree. But like back to like the burnout and like being tired all the time, like the last thing I want to do is go on apps or put all my energy into like concentrating on finding somebody. So I'm more of like a hopeless romantic in the theory that like I hope that like I'll be in a coffee shop one day, and the person that I've been looking for my whole life will be there, and it will be like a rom-com, and then everything will be beautiful. But I'm also not naive, so I'll take it for what it is and see what happens. But it's definitely it's just on top of my head. It just really isn't like I need a partner. I want to get married tomorrow by any means, but it would be great if like family, kids, marriage was somewhere down the line for me. But if it's not, it's not. And so I'm not putting pressure on it, and it's just not top of mind.
Do you feel like men are intimidated by the fact that you do have your own stuff, that you do have your, the position that you have, that you work for a company as big as it is?
Yeah, I do. I think that to some degree, I've found that that is somewhat of a turnoff, I feel like, to some people. I think that some men, want that power to feel like a little bit more established or well off, or want maybe the take care factor when they're in a relationship, want to be the provider or whatever it is. And like, granted, like I'm happy to be like in a power couple of some sort. Like that would be great. Obviously, I don't want to date someone who's not at least on my level to some degree. But I've found that I feel like it is intimidation to some degree sometimes with some men, that they just
Yeah.
they're just, yeah, I don't know if they just never dealt with somebody who is a little bit more independent and can take care of themselves. But it's definitely, I'm sure you faced it too. I'm sure you faced it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have. And I think for me, though, I just, like you said, I don't have the energy to go on the apps. I don't have the energy to do that. And it's funny because my mom used to tell me, so what do you expect a guy to come knocking at your door? And I'm like, well, not at my door, because I'll be kind of creepy that they know where I live. But maybe if I'm like stumbling up a stairs, or like I'm walking out of an audition and, we like bump into each other, like that would be great. And she's like,
Yeah, I think we're on the same page. I think that that would be like, I really just think the app culture too is something that I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. I think that I've heard too many I've heard great stories of people actually, but I've also heard horror stories, and it's just like, when I do have time for myself, I'd rather be either alone or with my friends. So, I'm still hoping that, my coffee shop romance will come, but if it doesn't, it's okay.
listen, I'm putting the energy out there. Coffee shop romance is coming to a coffee shop near you.
I'm putting out your staircase romance for you. Hopefully someone will help you when you fall down the stairs and you'll find yours.
Hopefully it's not a horrible fall.
Yes, hopefully not a horrible
Well,
fall.
I want to say thank you so much because I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy to
Thank
have seen
you.
so much of your growth and be able
Thank you.
to,
Thank
you
you so
know,
much.
still, yeah. And thank you for being a part of this episode. I'm sure that a lot of females are going to watch this and be inspired because maybe they're in college right now and they don't really know what they're going to do. Or maybe they're in the career and they're starting and they're just like, how, they don't think they can make it. So you're somebody that has shown me that anything is possible and you're such a
Oh,
hard worker. You're
thank
so
you.
much a person of value, and I just wanted to say thank you. And I was so happy to talk to you for a little bit and for you
Thank
to
you.
take time out of your Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you for everything, Yanina. I adore you. I love you. I'm so glad that we have stayed connected throughout all the years. And as much as we are talking about girl boss culture canceling, you are definitely a girl boss. And I'm super honored to have known you as well for all these years. So it's been great to sit down and talk with you as well.
Thank you. Well, I'll be posting this on IGTV and YouTube tomorrow, so make sure to stay tuned. Bye.
Bye.